Hi, my name is Pastor Hal York, and welcome to Truth in the Trenches. Today we're going to be in Proverbs chapter 12, verse 8. A sensible person wins admiration, but a warped mind is despised. Another version says, a man is commended according to his good sense, but one of twisted mind is despised. This has been a week that's going to be one remembered for a long, long time to come. Not only because of what happened on Wednesday, but what happened 24 years ago on Thursday. 24 years ago, several terrorists hijacked 4 planes. 2 of those planes took down the World Trade Centers in New York. 1 crashed into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and 1 crashed into a field in Pennsylvania. We call it now 9/11 now. That's how we remember it. Approximately 3,000 people lost their lives that day, some in planes, some in buildings, some on the ground. But countless lives of families and spouses and children were forever changed. Why? Because men with twisted minds, evil hearts, a twisted theology decided to attack innocent people. But they did not just attack innocent people, they sacrificed their own lives, but they sacrificed their lives for a lie. But amid the horror of these heinous acts, stories emerged of courage and sacrifice and love. Men and women who were not driven by hatred or selfishness, but out of love for one another, love for fellow co-workers, and so on. Men and women who would not be despised, but would go down through the annals of history regarded as heroes. Men and women who were sensible, who were willing to fight back, who were willing to help others at the cost of their own lives if necessary. None of us can forget the images of firefighters and policemen running into the World Trade Centers and going up the stairs seeking to rescue those who were trapped. And as we know, when those trade centers collapsed, many of those brave men and women lost their lives. But we still remember them, and we still remember them for years to come. And we are still in awe of some of the stories that came out of that day. We despise the terrorists who caused such havoc and horror. But we commend the heroes who were willing to do what many would not have had the courage to do. We will never forget 9/11. But many of us will never forget another event that happened on Wednesday. A sensible person, a young man who was a champion for truth, for righteousness, seeking to help young people weave their way through the maze of confusion surrounding so many issues they're facing today in high schools and college. He spoke clearly, courageously, with conviction. His comments often sparked controversy and sharp disagreements, but he never lost his cool. He tried never to be disrespectful with those who disagreed with him. He stood for biblical truth, conservative values. He stood for family. His name most of us know now, but was Charlie Kirk, 31 years old, husband of a beautiful wife, father of 2 young children, a boy and a girl. But someone, we don't know who just yet, someone with a twisted, warped mind decided the only way to deal with the differences of thought and worldviews was not through debate and exercise of the freedom of speech, but rather to assassinate him. So at 12:20 Wednesday afternoon, in front of thousands of students at a college campus in Utah, Charlie Kirk was murdered or assassinated. We don't know the motive of the shooter, but it wouldn't matter. There's nothing that could ever justify such a blatantly evil, wicked act. The admiration for Charlie Kirk has poured in from around the world. The lives he touched at such a young age give testament to the power of truth and courtesy and courage, caring for others. It shows the power as well as the hatred people have today for simple, straightforward common sense, biblical values, and the lack of tolerance for those who will not fall down and worship the golden calf of a warped and twisted mind. A sensible person wins admiration, but a warped mind is despised. Charlie Kirk's legacy will be long remembered. But even though his voice has been silenced, what he stood for and worked for since he was 18 years old, I believe many young people today will take up that torch. And instead of his voice being silenced, and a whole new generation of young people will, because of Charlie Kirk's example, find the courage to speak out against the evils of our culture and the redeeming truth of the gospel, the priority of family, and to do so with the power of love and love of Christ flowing through them. Paul reminded young Timothy, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." I never met Charlie Kirk, but I liked to listen to him. He blazed a trail for others to walk in. He was not a perfect man. There are no perfect men or people. But he was filled with a passion for Christ, for the gospel, for truth, for young people, for what was right. People may disagree with his views on issues, but many of those who did were the first to speak up regarding the character and integrity he displayed in what he did. They were filled with admiration for the man he was. So as we remember these two events, the evil and the heroes, let me close with two verses. 1 Corinthians 16, 13 and 14. Be on the alert, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong, and let all that you do be done in love. A man is commended according to his good sense, but one of twisted mind is despised. May these truths guide us and guard us in the trenches of life as we seek to live our lives for the glory of God and the good of others. May God bless.